Excellency, Director General of ICESCO, dear ambassadors, high officials of the embassies, and my very dear colleagues, and dear students from Marrakesh and from Rabat, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are addressing a very, very important topic today, but we need to understand, what is the depth of that topic. Right now, across the world, 10% of the human population, which is, close to 828 million people, they go hungry to bed at night. 828 million. That's a huge number. They go hungry to bed at night. And 575 million people are undernourished, and mostly in the developing countries and all that. So we need to understand, how did we arrive at this sort of a unsustainable situation where humans are going hungry? And what happened in our history in the past that we arrived at this? All right, for this we have to look, in the Paleolithic era, which was more than 10,000 years ago, in what is known as the Stone Age also. At that time, humans had come out of Africa and settled into Eurasia and also the Sahul region. Sahul region encompasses Australia and New Guinea and all these islands down there. So they came out of Africa and they settled in all of these areas. And at that time, human population was mostly hunter and gatherers, and they were living in bands of 20 to 50 individuals. And there were a total, on this planet, there were only 5 million people, million like an M in Morocco, 5 million people only on this planet. Right now we are close to 8 billion, so 5 million people. And that gave us a density of 0.04 person per kilometer square. Just to give you an idea, Rabat is 117 kilometers square. So in Rabat, 4.68 people would be living only. Right now, the Rabat's population is 577,000. So only about 5 people would be living in Rabat. That was the population density at that time. However, after this population, and why was the population density so low? Because we were hunter-gatherers. Food was limited. Sometimes when we would go out, men would go out hunting, they would find game, or sometimes they won't find game, and people would go hungry. But women's contribution in this was very high. They were doing mostly gathering, and I've seen calculations, scientific calculations, that show that women, if women had not been present on this planet, we all would have been dead. Women were contributing more to the caloric value of humanity as compared to the men. But we were still gung-ho, we were out hunting and all that. So that happened in the Neolithic era. And what resulted is people settled down, they domesticated animals, they domesticated grain from the wild and started growing their own food. And that resulted in an explosion in population. Some estimates put it from 30% to 60%. So from 5 million, which was a hunter-gatherer, sustainable living on this planet, to 150 million. By the way, I did some calculation also yesterday that if all the land on this planet was inhabited at a density of the Paleolithic, which is 0.04, only 150 million, 150 million square kilometer is present on this planet. Only 5.95 million people would be present on this planet, which is such a low number. So in the Neolithic era, because of abundance of food and abundance of safety and all that, we jumped up to 150 million, which is about 1 person per square meter. So now we are talking in the whole of Rabat, about 122 people would be living in the whole of Rabat, okay? Then we come to the Industrial Revolution. In the middle of the 17th century, the population jumps up to 500 million because of better facilities, better healthcare, better things. We jump up to 500 million, going from 150 million to 500 million. And that took about 200 years. In the next jump occurred about 100 years after that. We jumped from 1 billion to 2 billion. The first jump was 500 million to 1 billion. The next jump is 1 billion to 2 billion. Now we are talking billion like in Brunei, B in Brunei. And this was in 1930. And the next jump occurred about 45 years later to 4 billion. This was in 1975. And another jump after 45 years, doubling of population to about 7.7 billion by 2020, about the year 2020. And our doubling seems to have leveled off at 45 years. But the worrisome thing is that by 2065, we will be close to 15 billion people on this planet. And that's a lot of population to feed, basically. All right, so let's come to, His Excellency also pointed out, we produce 5 billion tons of food every year. Of that, 20% is wasted, which is close to 1 billion ton. That is wasted, completely wasted. 14% of this wastage occurs before the market, before the food even lands into the supermarkets and the market, which is close to $400 billion per year. Such a huge loss, which is, equivalent to some of the countries' economies and all that. And 60% loss occurs at the household, where we, not eat everything or throw in the dumpster and all that. 60%, which is 570 million tons. That is enough to feed everybody on this planet. In the developing countries, 40% loss is at the distribution level, where in the supermarket the foods go, slightly over-ripen and all that, and they throw it away. In the developed countries, that is equal to the net food production of sub-Saharan Africa. The developed country is not, above food wastage also. In the developing country, we have 44% loss, but not at the distribution level, but at the production and the storage level. So we need to understand where are the losses and how to really address those losses. I think that is very, very important. So how did we come to this competition that we had held? I was sitting in this conference organized by Islamic Organization of Food Security, and the DG over there was giving these numbers that 1 billion ton is lost and this and that. And I said, why once, when food is lost, when food is wasted, it goes bad and the microorganisms grow on it and it decays and all that. So I said, why don't we develop a process, a competition, where the candidates are asked to process this wasted food and extract carbohydrates and fats and proteins from it and supplement it with vitamins and minerals so they become edible food for populations which are undergoing hunger and issues. Like I said, almost close to 1 billion people go hungry at night. And some of the products, some excellent products have been submitted. I'll let Diallo handle the, how many applied and how many did not apply and how many came forward. But some excellent projects have been submitted. And it's not just conceptual projects. They have actually made these from the videos you'll be seeing in a minute from the waste product. And we have, for your eating purposes also, this product inside the hall. And we will display it over here also. So test them out and see, they are edible and they are good and they can really address the hunger issues in the world. I think this is an opportunity for us to really address SDG 2, and we can very easily address SDG 2. Remember, these products are made from things that you would normally throw away and that would go in the landfills and all that. So there is really no cost to it. You just gather things, and most of the things you'll see in the videos also. They've gathered, waste material. Like one person has gathered the peels of the carrot. Carrot is used, but the peels of the carrot, which we normally throw in the garbage, they are using that for the product. So thank you for all the participants. They've really done a wonderful job. And I really thank the jury. They deliberated at length, and we kept bothering them again and again with requests and sending them new videos. I apologize for repeated bombarding you with all the emails, but I think this is a process which we all should be proud of. Thank you very much.